Budapest in next year.
Game has started, the bronze match. So Colombia must be pretty mad that they got knocked out, and they're going to try to take it out on Norway. And I would favor Colombia in this match, but you never know.
Yeah, I know the Norwegian guys are very keen on redeeming themselves after yesterday's loss against Colombia. They've spoken a great deal about the things that went wrong, and they are hoping to improve on this. But one of the things Norway struggled with was a lack of possession in the last game. So they really have to improve on their possession if they want to have any chances.
But now already they're going in for the goal, and he's jammed it in.
Boom, 1-0.
He got the back of the neck, lifted the goalie, and put it in. We'll find out who that was soon.
That was fast. So goal for Colombia, number 42. It says it was number 42, but we don't have a number 42 on the lineup. We have a number 47, and that is Juan David Arias Franco. So goal for Juan David. 1-0 Colombia.
So the question is Colombia going to chew up Norway now? And I have a feeling that the Colombian players probably felt that they had extra energy and more to give, and they couldn't get it out because they were thwarted. They couldn't play their game, and so now they have nothing to lose anymore. They can just use all that energy.
But we see already here that Norway has, this is by far
coming around.
This is more than Norway showed in the last game between the two countries. So
possession
and possession-wise, so Norway see. Oh, but here we have the
Colombian player comes down, but he was vulnerable. He put the ball down by the side of the basket.
Bad pass right into the feet of the Colombian player.
Right. They're very opportunistic. The Colombians come straight in and take the ball if you leave it out in the wrong place. So a pass back to the center, and
then we see there Newell from Molde changing the Colombian.
They're going back around. They're doing the 180, but they can't always do the 180 if they forechecked hard.
Oh, and this is one of the keys. The last game, the Norwegian forwards really struggled with getting a grip on the Colombians.
Here they are back in the center. He goes over to the left and against the wall, then back out. And the forward shuts him down, manages to get the ball, but is punched away. And Colombia comes straight in, and he's found his teammate
back down,
and he and he passes over to the other side, and the pressure continues. So do you think that they throw the ball out there and expect it's a pass? It didn't go in. It went down to the side. Do they throw the ball over there in the hope that a teammate will come in?
I don't think the hope is the right word. They probably have an agreement saying that when I'm going down, you have to be down there. But they just get. I mean,
that was an example.
Yeah. So they know they will have a teammate down there. But we already seen two bad passes from some of the Norwegian players.
And that's because of the pace.
Yeah, probably the pace is too high for them, but they really have to step up their game.
I mean, for Colombia to go back to Colombia and say we beat Norway for the bronze doesn't sound too bad, right?
No. But it's still...
Oh, he's coming in really fast. And then he swims straight up. And then straight back down again. So their philosophy is to not engage in physical contest that they can't win. They want to move the ball around, and then strike.
Yeah.
And do you think the Nordic nations have something to learn from this?
I mean,
can it be incorporated into Danish play?
I think you're always looking for ways to improve your game and your style, but it's important that you don't try to implement something that wouldn't fit in your system and the way your players are playing. So I think Colombia has found a way that suits them very well, and they should continue perfecting that system. Other countries should do the same, find out what works for them, and then play the way they think is the best way to play. But we see, oops, again, I've been great play there by Seaman Joshua, the back, wins the ball, and there, but this is a very key part of the, of the game. Whenever the Norwegians wins the ball, they need to push out and they need a outlet pass so they can get help bringing the ball over, because Colombia are very good at putting pressure on the Norwegian ball holder right away. And they was not successful in doing this in the first game.
And they punched the ball out very quickly.
But here we have Norway on the fast break.
They punch the ball immediately when someone comes out with the ball and they don't see.
Yeah, and
they immediately hit it.
And that is where Norway, they need help from their teammates so they can make the pass before the pressure is getting too close to them.
Here, Colombia.
Great play by Njol Nordahl. Njol is playing from Molde. He's, I think he's a great player, great forward.
They're all the way over now. It's the Colombian side. 1-0, Colombia in the lead on an early goal. Since then, it's been mostly Colombian possession, but Norway is you see Norway's playing pretty quickly here. Coming in hard, tied up.
Henrik Lundgren, the captain of Norway, locked up there, but he still has the ball in the corner. But I think Norway is playing much better than they did in the first game between these two countries yesterday.
Yeah, it's only a 1-0 lead. Anything can happen. Colombia going up. He finds his teammate to the right. He goes into the wall and then back out to the center. He'll go around to back to the center, over to the right again. Back to the center. No, but he decides it's too risky. So Norway
once again
drives the ball away. It's going to be a fast break. Nice play.
And here they
all the way over.
Oh, he should have brought that ball in himself. That was...
There's a call for that. Very fast play, though. The pace is high.
Yeah.
This is really good for the Norwegian players, too.
I think we're going to see 2 minute.
Oh, mask.
2 minute. And that is face grabbing 2 minutes.
Who got that? It's a Colombian player.
No, it's a Norwegian player.
Norwegian. Power play. I will...
Or was it... Let's see what happened. White, number 8, that's Norway. That's Albert L. Andersen with the 2 minute suspension for attacking the equipment. So Colombia will play 6 against 5.
And I will go out on a limb and predict that this power play will result in a goal. I'll say that.
I'm going to take you on that, Darrell.
You don't believe it?
And we're going to... What are we going to...
Bet a beer.
We'll wager a beer.
At the next round of EuroLeague. So power play, and Colombia's got a man on the other side, but he doesn't need him.
Goal!
That's
Boom.
1 beer. Now everybody can witness. Christian Schaefer owes me 1 beer.
But you see here, I think the Norwegian back leaves his position before he's getting replaced, and it's just...
and I don't want Carlsberg.
No. Piggy guy.
If we're going to be in Vienna, right? I want a good Austrian beer. Do they have good beer?
I think so. But that just was number 95, Diego Ivan Rico Medina with the goal. But once again, the Colombians punish some sloppy defensive play from the Norwegian backs.
There was no back there.
There was no back there, and
he jammed it in between the shoulder and the neck.
So the Norwegians have to be extremely careful about their rotations. Now we'll have
2-0. Colombia's leading Norway in the bronze match.
timeout.
Did you see what happened to the Danish girls? They were
Yeah.
they resigned the match halfway through.
Yeah.
And some of them were crying. It was the younger ones. They were very upset.
Yeah.
And did you have a chance to talk with any of them, or?
No, they went straight out to talk the game through themselves. So they are still out talking.
Can we see them, or
Nope.
they're somewhere
No,
else? Yeah.
they are somewhere else.
I felt badly for them. But Lila's here, and
She's here.
Christine is not here. She's no longer Danish.
Oh, she's. I think she's living in
She's moved back to.
northern
Norway.
part of Norway.
What was the name of the other coach?
Mille.
Huh?
Mille.
Mille, yeah. I'm sure they're taking care of those
Yeah,
younger players and cheering them up and convincing them that this is not a negative experience. This was a learning experience.
So we have Norway coming in hard. A lot of people down.
So there were injuries on the Danish women's team.
Yeah.
They struggle out.
There we have. If they know. Where's the ball? The ball ends up with. Colombia has the ball.
So do you think Colombia has gotten better at scoring goals? It used to be a criticism that they were good at everything but scoring.
I mean, if you take a look at the top scoring list for this tournament, we have Colombian leading. So I think with the Colombians has improved their goal scoring.
Colombia leading Norway in the first half with about 6 minutes remaining, and the pace of this game is brutal. The Norwegian men are in pretty good shape. They don't seem to be fading out physically or anything like that.
And here with a good chance if he can get the ball into his teammate, but he's unable to do so. And
and he passes over to the goalie. The goalie heads off. Wow, they go all the way over. Was that the goalie who made that swim? We couldn't see the whole transition there. Behind the back pass. All right, switch microphones here.
where?
Colombia hovering above and swim out, back. They're a little bit above, higher in the water now.
We have some technical issues with their old microphones. Meanwhile, we have been joking a little bit about Mario Stangbunis being the Chef Ramsay of underwater rugby, Gordon Ramsay. And now we have a viewer on YouTube
Should be okay.
calling himself Gordon Ramsay, asking where the lamb sauce is.
Okay.
But I think Norway is very much in this game. This is by no means over yet. Here, Colombia, a big attack from above to get the ball down.
And now they're coming from below, and they got it. Yeah. So that first initial attack weakened the defense a lot, and the pass to the second player allowed him to have a position under the goal, and they pushed him up and put it in.
And I think
When you were coming in from above, Christian, and trying to score a goal, and you grab the goalie's neck, but you can't get him off, how long do you keep trying before you decide, I have to look for a pass now, I should have a partner underneath? You can't, or do you look while you're actually making the move? Can you split your consciousness that way?
I think it's most you know you have somebody down there.
You have to know that.
You have to know that. And it was number 23, Alejandro Marin, with the goal there. And I think the Norwegian defense is every time there is just the slightest mistake, the Colombians moving and punishes. Once again, There was not completely synchronized rotation between the goalies, forwards and backs there, and Colombia pushes things.
Colombia player cruises in, but he's forechecked hard. We can't see what the result of that was, but they maintain possession, and a push off the wall. He comes in. He wants to pass to the center, but he can't do it. So the guy at the center actually swims out, gets the ball from him. They pass back around, and they take a little break, a little breather, going up for air, going to think about it, and he fakes the pass, then he makes it. Down to the bottom. That player goes back to the center. They're coming around. Norway's pushing him back a little bit here, but now they come in again, all the way over to the right side. And he comes up, and he looks down. And he gives the pass underneath. He's got the goalie's back. It was a pass underneath the back there, wasn't it, Christian?
Yeah, again, Norway's just... Okay, now we have a Norwegian free throw.
What do you got to say about Norway? What's happening?
They're really struggling with winning the ball. The forwards are having a tough time against this Colombian offense, who it seems to have found their rhythm.
Do you think Samuel is watching?
I hope he is. And here we have Norway moving in under the goal, quickly stopped by the Colombians. And I think every time Norway, okay, now we have a fast break here. He comes alone, wrestles off the back, but loses it to a Norwegian defender who comes back, passes it out to Seaman Joshua, wins the ball, pass it on. Now we have a fast break, 1 against 1. Can he put it in? That is Magnus Skulberg, number 14, the forward for Norway.
That was brutal. He took the ball away from him and swam away so quickly.
Yeah.
He didn't hesitate on the bottom and search for someone to help him. He just left. I mean, he's really in good shape, and he had to rush to get back down there, right, to begin with. That would already tire a lot of players out. Then he got the ball. That would tire a lot of players out. Then he exploded out and swam to the top immediately. That's pretty...
And see here again, the Norwegian backs has no idea where the ball is.
Goal.
With the back to the play, goal Colombia.
Who scored that one?
I think it's number 7, Manuel Celis, the captain. It just seems like some of these Norwegian players are not used to the tempo and being challenged by somebody playing this fast. They cannot follow the action with their eyes.
So Germany really played a great game to beat them.
I think Germany played a great game. And I think, we talked about it on Friday that Norway has some fantastic players, some great players, but Colombia and Turkey, Germany are all very great teams, and if you make the slightest mistake, you will be punished. And under rugby really is a team sport. You need to be more than a couple of good players. But here we have great attack from the above. That was Njål Nordahl with a big attack. Finds a teammate, but he is surrounded by the Colombians. I think we see Norway moving very hard, but every time we see a lot of Colombians down, if Norway are successful in going down, luring down the Colombians, pulling it back out, and moving on the second wave, I think they will have much bigger chances than we're seeing now.
Free throw in favor of Norway. They put the ball in play and go over to the strong side corner.
And now we have a question, what time the finals are playing.
3 o'clock should be, but we're behind schedule.
We're behind schedule, but the finals will take place immediately after this one. So if you're watching this game, stay tuned and you will see the finals after this one. There, again, great work by Njål Nordahl. Oh, but unable to.
Is that because his teammates weren't with him, or that was the goal coming? They had the goalies back there. There was no defender. He just what do you call that move when you lay the ball on the back of of the goalie and then push the goalie off? Do you have a name for that move in Danish?
I'm gonna see it in replay here, then I can. No, just good old-fashioned
Just
scoring.
put the ball on the back,
Yeah.
and then grab them somehow, maybe around the waist or something, swivel them around and just drop the ball in.
Oh yeah, in Denmark we call that the hook.
The hook.
Ah.
So that was the hook move. And now Denmark take the ball again. And how many are going to show up here?
Then it's
Holding.
No. End of the first half.
Oh, yes.
So
5-0 in favor of Colombia. They're headed for a bronze medal.
yeah, I think again we just see Colombia seems as a team. Colombia seem to be more composed, while the Norwegians are struggling against them. It is simply because of the Colombians. It's just a better team. Norway has some great players, showing some great play, but they just can't keep up with the pace that the Colombians are playing with. So it's simple as that. And much of this comes from the experience you get when you're out playing. For example, if you play in a club with who's not perhaps an elite club, and then you're not used to very high tempo in your play. And we know that many of these players from Colombia come from Orcas and some of the other big clubs in Colombia where they have a lot of great players, so they're used to playing in a higher tempo.
Maybe someone will tell us on YouTube how many of them come from Orcas and how many come from Castores and
I know that
Ecamatis and
I know that Manuel Celis and Simon Diaz they both play for Orcas,
yeah.
and they will go to Champions Cup with the rest of the senior team.
And you're going to Champions Cup as well?
No, actually I'm not.
No, you're not.
I was supposed to go, but
Is that because of your disqualification? From which team would you go with?
Flipper.
Okay.
And
And they don't accept you anymore as a Flipper player.
no, I haven't been playing with the team since I left for Oslo, so I'm a bit out of sync with the rest of the guys there. So I'll watch online in 2 weeks. I know there'll be a live stream up, and I will follow the action from there. Sadly, it will not be you and me, Darrell, doing the games.
That's sad.
But there's somebody else capable.
We'll listen to Lorena and Wolfgang. And Champions Cup is going to be exciting this year.
And now we know that Hector Escobar, a.k.a. El Guapo, he plays for Ecamatis.
I told you Ecamatis was one of the clubs. Does El Guapo mean the beautiful one or the handsome one?
I would say the handsome one.
The handsome. You know Spanish.
I know a little bit.
So you didn't get an invitation to go and work in Turkey as a coach.
I did.
You did.
I did.
And you turned it down because
I was unable to go.
You were unable to go.
Sadly, but
and Amanda also turned down the invitation.
I already received an invitation for next year's camp.
Next year. So that's what's going on?
As Jan Kristoffersen rightly points out, I'm not in the team because Flipper has 12 better players. Actually, the true story is that Jan and we had a game of Scrabble, and I lost. That's why I'm not in the team. Is that right, Jan?
Kristen, I'm going to ask Amanda a question. Well,
now I think we're going to have a... That means he's... We had 2 substitutions on the Norwegian team in the half. Torbjørn Dalen and Njål Nordahl are both going out, leaving the game. And entering is Sondre Jacobsen and Erik S. Rød. So Torbjørn Dalen and Njål Nordahl leave the game. Sondre Jacobsen and Erik Rød are entering the game. On the Colombian side, Manuel Orlando, number 14, is leaving the game. And in is coming number 9, Daniel Felipe Rivera.
Vallejo. They have awfully complicated names.
I think that I'm struggling the most with the Finnish names.
The Finnish names.
You do good. You do good with the Finnish names.
Yeah, but they only have 2 names usually.
Here we go.
All right. Do you think that Norway can score? Or I should say, will they score, do you think?
I think right now, as the game is progressing, I would say no. Doesn't look like it. We have a question about the goal scorers from Colombia. The goals has been scored by number 47, Juan David. He scored the first goal. Second goal was scored by number 95, Diego Ivan. The third goal came from number 23, that is Alejandro Marin. The fourth goal and the fifth goal, both put in by the captain, Manuel Silis.
Norway has a huge wall of Colombian defenders. Could he kick free? No, he couldn't.
And we talk a little bit about the difference in pace. Oh, here we have a good chance. Nice play there. Moving Harding from above. Hamanovic with the ball. Tries to get the ball down, but unable to do so. And good chance there by Norway. Good play. Good to see. And here I'm told that most of the Colombian players, they played in the elite series of the Colombian divisional play. So they're very used to very high-paced games. Thank you very much for that information, Claudia.
Claudia from the national team. Orcas. Do you want coffee, Christian?
First time you asked this weekend.
Yeah. Do you want some?
Yes, please. Tea.
Okay. Tea. All right.
Locked up. Norway wins the ball. Why do you go to the surface? Swim, swim, swim. Swimming out with the ball. Unable to follow the action right now, but Colombia has it. Pass it down.
You got scored
underneath.
You scored.
Great play again there by Seaman Joshua. I would say that was.
But I mean, in the last game there was 1 goal. Yeah, yeah.
Should be a Norwegian free throw there. I think it's called. I have to say I've been really impressed by the play, especially Seaman Joshua, number 4, as shown from Norway. Also, Henrik Lundgren has done a tremendous job. With those two, it's not enough to prevent Colombia being 5-0 up here with a little more, around 12 minutes to play in the second half of the bronze match. Colombia moving in, Darrell returning with T. And another goal. Ah. I mean, I think the I don't know what to say. It was just beautiful play. Norway completely outplayed there. It was number 9, Daniel Felipe, who entered here in the second half with that goal. And I think they're all, we can talk a little bit about Champions Cups in 2 weeks because Molde has won everything they've participated in this year so far, but perhaps looking a little bit weaker than they used to do the previous years, and seems like Colombia is in a great shape at the moment, strong team, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We also have great teams from Germany, Finland. There's a lot of interruptions here in the commentary booth all the time. People want to come over, talk to us.
As far as Champions Cup goes, of course, it's exciting, and it's a great tradition, and a lot of players really like to go and play. It's a fun time. They meet all their friends.
And in they go again. Colombia is on pace here to...
I'm going to leave you for just a second, Christian, and I'll be back.
So, Devel is yet again left me here all on myself. That means my filter is gone. He's the one keeping me on track on the live stream so I don't wander down some mysterious paths in the narrating job, but I'm gonna try and stay focused. Colombia with the play. Now Norway has it over by the Colombian basket, but they once again locked up, taken to the surface. We see two Norwegians in that scrum. Instead of going two into the scrum, it's better to have one guy in the scrum and the other guy below so he can drop the pass down to him, instead of what we see here, a ball being dropped down to nothing, into nobody. So remember that. Always one guy in the scrum, the other guys beneath. And now we have Colombian fast break here. Good play by the Norwegian back to stop that pass with his feet. Selvfølgelig. Oh. Stian is back. Yeah. And Stian is updating the Facebook page. Make sure to go in to Underwater Rugby U21 European Championship Sandefjord 2016 if you want all the complete overview of all the scores, matches, and everything. Norwegian free throw here. Trying to go in, but keeps possession, finds a teammate. And it's a lot of people down the ball, fighting for the ball near the basket. Henrik Lundgren is down there, but Colombia wins the ball. And this is something we spoke about earlier, that it's really important being hard, but being able to pull the ball back out so they can come in with the second wave when some of the Colombians have left the bottom, because right now they're getting locked up right away. And here we have some great forward work by Norway. Wins the ball, trying to find an outlet pass, and he does so. We have a Norwegian fast break, 1 against 1. Can he put it in? Oh! He loses the ball. That looked like Matthias Basting with that big chance there, but unable to convert. Big chance for Norway there. Surely he'll be disappointed when he sees that on the video. But also great goalkeeping play by the Colombian goalie. Now we have Colombia moving in. And you see Colombia having more success when attacking the goal, and when the chances seems to run out, they pull the ball out. Of course, as I mentioned this, they lose the ball on the bottom to one of the Norwegian defenders. And Norway once again on the fast break. 1 against 1 yet again, but one more time unable to convert this big chance. And now Norway had 2 big chances, 1 against 1.
A lost fin on the bottom there.
And if you're not able to convert these one-on-one situations, it's going to be very hard to win a close game like this.
It's not a close game.
And now we have instead Colombia moving in.
Christian, why do you call it a close game?
I mean, when I say close game, I mean it's a bronze game in a big championship. So I mean it's important game is perhaps the right word. Dervel is back here.
Yep.
Just before you came back, Dervel, Norway had a similar chance to the one you saw. But now Colombia putting one in. 7-0. 5 minutes to play still.
It's funny when you look at the Colombian players, the way they swim. You know, some of them were swimmers before and some were not, but they're all fast with fins.
Yeah, I know a lot of the Colombian players do swimming exercise and swim workout before and after practice.
Yeah. Here they come. One on 2. He goes under, he finds his teammate.
But the back keeps on working. Great work by the Norwegian back there. Then we have Manuel Celis with the ball, taking it to the surface, passing it down. Still 4.5 minutes left here. Colombia once again moving in close to the Norwegian goal, passing it down. But again, and we see there again that the Norwegian back Seaman Joshua has been able to stop most of the Colombian attacks whenever he's down. The same with Henrik Lundgren on the goal now, that Colombia is struggling with some of the...
Joshua's an outstanding player.
Yeah, he's outstanding. Same with Henrik, but those two are equally matching the Colombians. So
they're at that level.
Yeah, they are at that level. So Norway has players who has been able to match the Colombians. Also felt that Njål Nordal, before he left in the
He's
break,
out now, though.
He's out now. He did a great job in the first half, but Colombia just seems to have more players on a higher level. But now we have a fast break which is broken up by Colombia, wins the ball.
Even though we couldn't see that, I imagine that the Colombian player accelerated, got ahead, and took the ball back again. Did he kick that ball up to himself to catch it? Looked like it.
And we have another Finn lying on the bottom of the pool. And there again,
Didn't score.
Great work by Seaman Joshua there. But he loses the ball. Colombia is...
Now he's got the goalie's back.
Because you see his teammate, though, too late. Seaman Joshua is down there again. He's...
boxed away.
Boxed away. We have 2 Finns on the bottom now. Wonders who's missing the Finns. 2 minutes left here.
Wow. It's almost, it's really beautiful the way the Colombians pass over and over and over around the basket.
I mean,
There it is, what I was talking about before, the punch.
Yeah,
the
but
moment people try to swim away, they accelerate,
but
get up with them and punch the ball out.
you see the Norwegian has the ball, but he's not aware of the pressure around him, and that's about experience and tempo. You should know, you should be able to feel where's the pressure is coming from, so you can protect
I think
the
a
ball.
player at that level coming out with that speed, with the ball outstretched in his hand, he feels that usually that works for him in regular team practice and other places. Now it's not fast enough.
Yeah, now it's not. Oh no, we have again here,
Yeah.
and the goal is down. Great goal here. Let's say who put that one in. That was number. Before we get there, but if you're used to being able to bring out the ball, but he still, even though he should be able to feel that the pressure is getting to him, and when he feels that, he should bring in the ball. But as you mentioned, perhaps he's not used to that pressure, so he doesn't know the feeling of when it's coming and when to bring in the ball.
In other words, it's like a club player going to play with an elite team. Everything is faster, and here this has gone from elite to even higher elite, or it's elite with speed. So.
And we have number 96 with the goal, and that is Felipe. My eyes are getting back here. Felipe Castrillion with the goal. But I mentioned it a couple of times, and I'm going to say it again. It's been one of the deciding factors in this game. Of course, Colombia play very, very good rugby. But Norway have some players been able to match the Colombians. But quite naturally, they are not able to stay down at the bottom the whole time. And that is when
1 minute 20 seconds
putting
left.
the goals. And we slowly see the Norwegian ladies preparing themselves here in front of us for their game, the next game, which is Norway versus Colombia in the women's final. And now we have again a Norwegian fast break, but yet again the Colombian goalie comes up with the ball. "40 seconds left here." Colombia once again moving in. Manuel Celis tries to pass behind his back, but unsuccessful. He stays down. Great effort there. Colombia with the ball, moving in. Can they get another goal? Doesn't look like it now. Norway with the ball, Colombia with the ball all alone. Can he get it in? And their time is running out. No goal for Colombia, but a 8-0 win. Colombia over Norway. Colombia won the bronze medal at the European Championships. Of course they are clapping, but they still look disappointed. I think they came here for something bigger than this, but still a very, very big effort from the Colombian teams.